Welcome to the Farmish Kind of Life podcast, where we talk about homesteading stuff and life stuff and everything in between. Join me, Amy Dingman, as we explore big questions on a little farm. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Farmish Kind of Life podcast. This is episode 128. It is March 31st, last day of March. And today's another short episode. I want to talk to you today about the big secret about parenting. As I was scrolling through social media the other day, I saw a couple people asking questions about parenting. One young parent was asking a question about knowing whether her child was ready for solid foods, and she said, is there a sign or is it just trial and error? How am I supposed to know? Another parent was dealing with a situation at their home, and they had made this big post that had said, basically, how am I supposed to know I'm doing this right? How do I know the right choice for this situation, and how will I know that I'm doing this right as a parent? And this got me thinking, because my oldest turned 18 this month. My youngest will turn 17 next month. So I have raised one kid to adulthood. My youngest has 1 year to go. And what I can tell you that I've figured out about parenting is this. It is a lot easier to figure out how to run a farm than it is to figure out how to raise a kid. In this episode, this little thought is as much for parents as it is for kids. So if you're a younger person who happens to be listening, this is for you too. But I guess all of us who are alive have parents, whether we know them or not, whether we're still in contact with them or not. But here's what I want to say. Your parents were punting. Every parent that has ever lived has punted through parenting. And most of us pretend that we're not. But most parents have a list a mile long of things that they wish they would have done differently. And that list is usually way longer than the list of things that they would admit that they got right. Because behind closed doors, a lot of parents feel like they really screwed things up, and they just hope that no one else figures it out. When you become a parent, you may raise your kids similar or different to how you were raised. And those similarities or differences might work out. They might not. And the thing that I've realized having older kids is that you're not going to know if they worked out or didn't until your kids are much older. You're not going to find out until later. That kid who said he didn't want a birthday party really might not have wanted a birthday party, but it might have also been the kid that really needed you to step in and throw a party for him. The kid that you decided to be super strict with might have really needed it. It might have also been the reason they really, really rebelled. That kid that you decided to be really relaxed with might have really flourished in that environment. But in another kid, it might be the reason they're filled with anxiety. Asking 40 million questions to your kid might be what drives one kid away, but it might be the way that another kid feels loved. And you don't always immediately know. So much about parenting you don't figure out until after the situation has passed. You figure it out after the fact. You figure it out when you're looking back. But you know what? You might have no clue what you're doing, but neither does your kid. You've never been at this place in your parenting, but your kid has never been at this stage of being a kid before. We are all punting through life, no matter if we're parenting or not. So really, this is to say that parenting is no different than anything else. We are all learning as we go. So I guess to answer the questions that I saw, will there be a sign? Is this just trial and error? Or how am I supposed to know that I'm doing this right? I guess my answer would be, yes, there will be a sign. There will probably be a few signs, and you won't know which one to pay attention to, and you will pick the wrong one, and you will try again, and it will be trial and error, and you will feel like you screwed it up so many times. You might have no clue what you are doing, but I guarantee that you are doing better than you think. You're doing the best you can. You know how I know that? Because if you weren't, you wouldn't care. And you wouldn't have asked the question, how am I supposed to know that I'm doing it right in the first place? Have a good day. Hope you enjoyed the show today. To continue the conversation, visit our website at afarmishkindoflife.com, find A Farmish Kind of Life on social media, or drop me an email at amy@afarmishkindoflife.com. Peace, love, and bacon, y'all. Stay farmish.